This gender reassignment is an interesting cultural phenomenon. Of course, I think that these people are human beings and they have a right to choose whatever lifestyles they want. This is a part of democracy and capitalism and freedom. And the medical institutions could, through capitalism, come with techniques and so forth to cater for these people. However, if I were married to a woman and then she announces that, you know what, I had some man locked up in my heart so long and I'm going to be that, would God be upset if you divorce somebody like that? The question goes further. If somebody has attempted to kill you once, do you think God would be upset if you divorce that person? Because they might do it again. It has happened. Attempt, fail, but they succeed later on. I think that we all have temptations, and I think it's a temptation. You have this feeling, and sometimes when you go on with the feeling and keep going with it, it takes you beyond where you could go. But the funny thing in America is that we are allowing people to do things that we, through a collective wisdom, know to be folly. And there's no way you could encourage somebody to go against what they're thinking. You have a child and child announced that they're gay or whatever, you have to play with them, you can't tell them and try to change their minds and so forth. And I don't understand what's the point of society and peer pressure and parents, etc. But I recall when I was in high school, and the question is, these individuals who are clamoring for these operations, are they educated? Some of them seem to have special degrees and whatever. I mean, is that person educated? Now, if the person weren't educated and belonged to a church, reading the Bible, I don't think they will go ahead with this. Because, as I was saying, in high school I learned about genetics, and it was clear that as a man I have XY chromosomes and the female has XX. Just recently on television I was watching a crime show, and they were saying that they had some DNA from decades ago, and with new technology they were able to explore it. And there's this doctor who, from your DNA, say semen or blood, he could know your race, your eye color, your hair color, and your gender. So they said this was an XY. So I don't understand why individuals would still be claiming that they got this boy locked up in them and all this kind of stuff. And yes, they are freaks in nature, in which a person might be born with a penis and a vagina, but common sense would say, hey, at puberty you make a decision. You can't be both. Your genetic, I don't know if a hermaphrodite would have some mix up in the genes, whether they'll have X, Y and XX, but if they have XX or XY, I mean, you got to decide. If you have XX, you're a man. If you have XY, you're a man. If you have XX, you're a woman. So I think that people are coming up with a variety of ways to violate what God has said. And I don't know if people understand superpowership. It's not an opportunity to be selfish. It's an opportunity to serve the world and show the world what serving God does. It makes you not omnipotent, but makes you powerful and rich and so forth. And it's not to spend that riches and the power on yourself. So you find the young men who are wearing the pants down, you see all the briefs, and they have to be walking with the feet spread to hold the pants up. And then you're saying, like, what's this? I mean, we have high technology of belts. I mean, why would a guy, and the funny thing is that they're playing badge on, and as soon as they get in the fight, they have to be holding the pants, and the fight is over. Because if you're skillful, it kicks and you punches and you got them. So I don't know, I still can't disparage against a person that has chosen to do this sex change, but I'm just asking them, I mean, what you're thinking? The Bible says that because people will not accept him as God, you allow a reprobate mind to take over, and they're going to lust after their own sex. So here you have the genesis of gay and lesbian stuff. But this even changing gender assignment too could fall into the same category, because as I said earlier, there was a guy who had thought that he was a lady. He went and cut off his penis, etc., tried to get a vagina, and then he accepted the Lord and he discovered that, hey, you're a man. And then he said, okay, he went back to his original, but he had lost his penis. So I hope that folks will think clearly what they're doing, because we've seen what God did to ancient civilizations like Sodom and Gomorrah. And we're at the crossroads here now. The world economy is in trouble. How long the world is going to last is up in the air. But let us try to, rein in or desires that bordering on bizarre and weirdo. God has made you one way, and just be appreciative. If you're feeling, anyhow, just go and rededicate yourself to the Lord and stop this thing, because we spending money, or medical resources on trying to create something impossible. All they get the vagina and everything else. Your gene's going to say XX. And in real terms, there's no way you could ever come to the place where you're going to dream in that you're some woman. You're going to take forever. Just wasting your time.